Today we're doing a chair yoga sequence. So this is for anybody who needs a little bit more support while you're doing your yoga, but also for any time maybe you're doing work, sitting at a desk. You can also do any of these, maybe pick them apart or do a whole sequence right at your desk if you need a little bit of movement throughout your day. So let's get started. The first thing that you should do is make sure that you have a chair, preferably one without arms. So mine is just the back. With a back, this way you have room to have movement on each side. First thing we're going to do is just find a nice seat. So without leaning into the back of your chair, you're going to scooch a little bit forward so you can sit with a really nice tall spine. Not on the edge of your chair, but just so that you're not sinking back. And then take a moment to really ground your feet down to the floor. Depending on the height of your chair, they might not reach the floor. You can always bring pillows or something underneath your feet just to bring the ground closer to you. Spread the toes nice and wide. Ground down to the floor. You can take a moment to lift the toes and place the toes, then lift the heels and place the heels. Do that one more time. Lift the toes, plant them, lift the heels, and plant them. Now see if you can feel really grounded down through the feet. Tall spine, eyes open or closed. Give yourself a moment here to arrive to your practice. Letting go over the day so far, finding this present moment, the quality of your breath, the length in your spine, your hips rooting down to the chair and your feet grounding down to the floor. Starting some movement. You can open the eyes if they're closed. Just gently bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Just a slight little movement, right ear to right shoulder. You might place your right hand on top, not pushing down, but just allowing some gravity to heavy the head. Come back to center. Bring the left ear to left shoulder. Maybe you bring the left hand on top. Move your chin in whichever direction feels best for you to get more of a stretch through the side of your neck. And come back. We're going to start slow neck rolls by first bringing chin into the chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to chest. Just move side to side like a pendulum. Getting out any creaks and cracks, movement in the neck. We're really starting to connect movement and breath. So on your inhales, find the upswing. On the exhales, come through center. And as you're fully ready, you can start to bring the head back. Just be very gentle. Maintain a little bit of connection. So you're really controlling the movement. Big inhale as you open. Then exhale as you come down. Switch directions. One more round. Back to center. Okay, so now we've warmed up the neck. Next we'll do shoulders. Hunch the shoulders up by the ears. Draw them up and all the way back. Do that 2 more times. All the way up. Exhale all the way back. One more time. All the way up. If you add the arms in and down. And then we're going to reverse the direction 3 times. Come up and all the way forward. Inhale up, all the way forward, and one more. Pause in the center here. Notice how your neck, your shoulders, your head feels. A little more open, a little more released. And we're going to start each movement of the spine, starting with a lateral stretch. You can stay holding on to either the right edge of your chair or the right thigh and just reach the left arm up and over. You're trying not to collapse all the way over onto the side. It's really more lifting through the center. Every inhale you lengthen, and every exhale you might find a little more room. You're just slightly opening up the left side rib cage, left side body. You can choose to look up towards the ceiling if that feels better for you, or straight ahead. Keep the top shoulder resting away from your ear. Inhale to rise back up. Notice it takes a little bit of strength to come up. And take the other side, left hand to your thigh or to the edge of your chair. Reach up, inhale, and exhale over. Feeling a big side body stretch, opening up the rib cage, but not crunching over onto this side. Focus on the length first. You might look up towards the ceiling. That can help you focus on reaching up, out of the side body. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale to strong, come back up to center. Notice how that wakes up the side body a little bit more. Next, we're going to take a rotation on each side. So again, to the right side, but first bring your left hand over, thigh or chair. Opposite hand comes to the back of your chair. Just gently twist. You're not trying to push, you're not trying to crack your back, you're just gently rotating. Maybe you bring the chin over the back shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Again, opposite hand. Your right hand comes to the left side, maybe your leg, maybe the chair. Top arm comes to the top of your chair. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to find your twist. You're aiming to get the shoulders relatively even. Broaden your collarbone. Keep the chin parallel to the floor as you twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Slowly come back up to center. Last movement of the spine. Extension and flexion. So back bend, forward bend. Hands come on your knees. Stay rooted with your feet. Inhale, lift your chest. Seated cat-cow. So here's cow. Exhale, hold onto your knees and arch back. Cat. So you should have plenty of room if you're seated forward on the chair. Inhale, cow. Exhale, arch the spine, cat, even tucking your chin to your chest. Inhale. And exhale. And now here you might like to add some extra movement. Maybe some big circles with the hips or small circles with the hips. Whatever feels good. Keep the feet rooted to the floor. It really helps to stay grounded as you find movement. Really feel grounded in your practice. Switch directions if you haven't. Move with the breath. Inhale as you come forward. Exhales as you round. One more. And back to center. Pause. Bigger movements now. Root through the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, palms come through the center. We're going to really start exaggerating movement to breath. Okay, inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms through center. This time as you bring the arms up, see if you can almost feel a bit of a back bend. You're opening your chest as you reach the arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, back to center, tall spine. Adding on. Inhale, arms up. Kind of a half salutation. Palms come through the center. This time, fold forward over your legs. And it's okay if you don't come very far. Maybe you just land the chest and the thighs. You might be able to reach the fingertips to the floor and let the head go heavy, almost a little bit between the legs. Bring the hands back together and curl up as you inhale. Reach all the way up. 2 more times. Exhale. Maybe you dive this time, or you can keep the palms through the center, up to you. Rest the head, pause for a moment. Inhale, curl back up. One last time again, palms can come through the center, or the arms can come wide, whatever feels best for your shoulders and your back. Slowly let the head heavy at the end. Inhale, come up. This time, exhale, just bring the palms to to the center. Breathe. We're going to wake up the core just a little bit before we add some postures. Start by, you might keep the hands at the center of the chest. It might feel better to hold on to the edge of the chair. You're going to lift your right leg up just as high as you can up off of the mat. It's okay if it's a little bit of a hover. Maybe you can lift a little bit higher, also waking up the legs a little bit. But notice how it takes some core strength to lift your foot up. And by core, I don't just mean the abs or the belly, but the whole center of the body, the back, the belly. It's all helping you to lift this foot up. Flex your toes. Slowly lower down. Pause in the center. Left leg, lift it up as high as you can. Notice one leg is very different from the other. Maybe this one doesn't come up as high. Maybe it comes up higher. Notice if you're kind of rounding in towards your foot and try and sit up really nice and tall. Use the whole center line core of the body to lift the leg up and lower. See if you can extend your leg up off of the floor. It's okay if your leg is not straight. Your knee might be bent. You might not be able to lift up very much, but just as high as you can. Try not to push into the chair or the floor, but rather use this from the midsection of your body. Lift up tall. Lower down. Left leg, lift up high. It can help to really flex the toes to activate your quad. Wake up the leg as well as the core. Root down through your seat and rise up through the crown of your head. Nice. Slowly lower down. Great work. Take a round of seated cat-cow if you'd like to loosen up your spine a bit. Okay, now we're going to start our Warrior 1, Warrior 2, but using the chair as complete support for your hips. First, we're bringing both of your knees all the way to the right edge of your chair. Now, every chair is different, so you might have to figure out the right way that both hips can be grounded, your feet can be planted strong on the floor, and your spine can be nice and tall. Now, using the help of your right hand to kind of hold you, find balance, you're going to sweep the left leg all the way back and behind you, straightening the leg. So it might take a bit. You might need to straighten out here and slide back. You may need to maneuver the hips around to find this comfortable. Eventually, you're aiming to have your front heel and your back heel a little bit apart, so kind of hip-width distance, so that you can draw this left hip a little more forward towards the right edge of your chair. Now, it will naturally be a little bit more open because you're supported with this chair and you don't have room to guide it all the way forward, but imagine that two hips are working to be parallel here. This is Warrior 1. If you want to test your strength, your balance, first make sure both feet are rooted down to the floor. You might rise your left arm up, and you can try to reach your right arm up. Just for a moment, one inhale, and exhale, bring them back down. From Warrior 1, open out into Warrior 2. So first, make sure that your back foot comes in a little bit more. Your heel would be in line with your arch. Allow the hips to open towards the front this time, rather than coming towards the right edge. You may need to adjust both of your feet so that both feet can ground down. Try to engage both of your legs. You're not just plopping down into the chair. You're really nice, tall, lifted. So you are working quite a bit, even though you're seated. Arms out, Warrior 2. We're going to just transition to one other posture, Peaceful Warrior, by flipping the front palm, reaching up towards the ceiling as you slide your backhand all the way back and down. Try to energetically squeeze the thighs close together. And again, don't dump down into your support, but rather just use it to hold you up. Nice. Come back to Warrior 2. Place your hands down. Slowly bring your back foot in just enough so it's bent here, right in front of the chair. So your legs have a little bit of distance apart. Place your hands on your thighs and just fold down. Taking a little break in between, you can sway side to side. Notice how the legs and the thighs feel. We really open them up just there. We're going to do that on the other side. Roll back up. Now bring both of your knees over towards the left. Take your time to get there. Make sure you're nice and rooted down. Find the right spacing. And then draw your right leg all the way back. Maybe out to the side first, all the way back. Give yourself enough room that you can guide your hips close towards the top edge of your chair. And then both feet can be grounded down. Your feet should be separate enough that your hips are coming close or they have room to come parallel. Opposite arm rests on the top of the chair. You might try to lift your back arm. Maybe for a moment the other arm. Really push down to the floor with your feet. Inhale, lengthen. Land the hand, land the hand. We're going to open up a bit, so kind of heel toe your foot out a little bit wider and work to bring your hips more parallel to the edge, the front edge of your chair. Your heel should be about in line with the arch. It's not going to be perfect alignment because of the chair in between, so your knee might not be perfectly open. You're working to guide it open more towards your pinky toe. If you can, arms up, parallel to the floor, warrior two. Inhales to lengthen, exhales to root through the feet, not collapsing into the chair, but press down through the feet. Engage your legs, they're working. So the palms reach back, the legs stay the same, peaceful warrior. Just slightly opening up side body, just gently resting your hand on your back leg. On your next exhale, come back through center. Land the hands, slide your back foot in just enough so your knees are open, opening towards the corner, the left corner of your chair. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, roll down. You might sway side to side, checking in with the inner thighs, inner hips. Add a little bit of a twist here, more active recovery. Hands to the thighs. Lift your chest a little bit. On your exhale, dip your shoulder and take a twist. Yeah, inhale, lift. Exhale, take a twist, squeezing the shoulder blades. So feel that big stretch, opening, twist in the middle of your shoulder blades. One more each side. Exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. Come back to center. Bring both feet in front of you. Maybe you need to shake it out a bit. Now we're going to add a little bit of a standing series, just a slight bit, using the aid of the chair for balance, but just to really test your strength. You've really woken up your legs. Now you have more energy to do some standing postures. Feel free to just do another set in the chair if you feel like that is not in your practice today, but if you want to try it, come standing. Use your chair for help to lift yourself up nice and tall, and move your chair to the top of your mat with the back support of your chair facing you so you can hold on. Same two postures, warrior one and warrior two. Start with the right foot forward, feet about hip width distance, and step your left foot all the way back. Use the help of the chair to find that big lunge back. Your right knee is directly over the right ankle. Your left foot is back at a slight angle. Left leg is straight. So it takes quite a bit of strength to press back through the heel. Lift your chest. Warrior one. You can stay here. You can really test your balance if you'd like to lift one hand up at a time. Maybe you sweep it all the way up. Every inhale, you can lift the arm up. Every exhale, you can land it down. I'll do one more. And if you want to really try, really test your balance, see if you can lift both arms up. Squeezing the thighs together, almost like you're scissoring the legs together to reach the arms all the way up, belly in. Yeah, exhale, land the hand down to the chair. And it's okay if you stayed with the hands on the chair. I'm just giving you something to work towards. The next posture we'll do standing is warrior two. All you're going to do is heel toe your back foot a little bit wider so you can begin to open your hips towards the front. Your heel is in line with your arch now. Back edge of your foot is parallel. Knee is stacked over the ankle. Your thigh does not have to be parallel to the floor. If you have it in you or you're flexible today, you can really sit nice and low, but there's no need. Just make sure your knee joint is protected over the ankle and check that your knee isn't collapsing in. Work to always guide it back behind you, back towards the pinky side edge of your foot. Opposite arm can come out. Maybe you work on lifting this right hand up off the chair. Every inhale, you lift the arm. And your exhales, you can place it back down. Squeeze the legs together. Feel them energetically squeezing together as you lift and lower. If you've lifted, see if you can hold it for a breath. Land down. Cartwheel the hand to the front of your chair, and now tuck the toe in, step it in. Step both feet back. We're going to take a supported downward facing dog. All that means is you're going to walk the feet back until you can come down with the chest and abdomen parallel to the floor. Neck in line. You might even let the head come a little bit heavier. Press into the chair. Press your feet into the floor. Feel a big stretch in the hamstrings. You might even need to bend your knees. That's totally fine. You're feeling a big stretch across the back side of your body. Slowly come back up. Walk your feet really nice and slow to the top of your chair. We're going to do that on the other side. Left foot forward, right foot back, warrior one. Knee over ankle, feet nice and grounded. Again, feel free to hold on to the chair the entire time. Working on balance, allowing it, using it to help you. Try not to dump all of your weight onto the chair, but almost like you could float off. And then you might be able to lift one arm at a time. Inhales to lift the arm, exhale to lower. One more each side. And then to test, maybe you try both arms. If it's just a hover, maybe you can lift it all the way up. Notice as you lift the arms up, the chest tends to try and come forward. See if you can lengthen instead of take a back bend. Scissor your legs together. Right hip forward, left hip back. Exhale, land the hands. Widen your stance a bit so that your ankle is in line with the arch. Sit as low as you can with the left knee over your ankle. Your thigh does not need to be parallel at all. Just go as wide as you feel comfortably. Feel a nice big stretch across the front of your hips. Right arm comes back behind you, but keep your gaze over the left. If you'd like to try, you can lift and lower this hand. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And if you have it up, you might just hold and see if you can do that for one breath. Land the hand, cartwheel the hands, walk your foot in just a little bit using the support of the chair. Step back as much as you need to bring your chest and abdomen parallel to the floor. Now make sure you're not dipping the chest down. Really lift your belly, so it takes a little bit of core work to stay flat, parallel to the floor. Again, bend your knees as much as you need to, but make sure you're not finding a sway in the back. It's a nice, flat, long back. You're creating some traction in your spine, stretching the spine. Slowly come back up. Walk your feet nice and slow. One more balance. The classic balancing posture, tree pose. Ground down through your left leg. Nice, strong, and solid. And pick up your right foot, either just to the ankle, so your toes are tapping the floor. You might be able to bring it up to your shin. Wherever you've placed your foot, just make sure you're not putting it on your knee. And press your leg back into your foot. This helps to start opening up the knee and to find a little bit of length and strength through the midline of your body. If you want to test balance, again, you can always tap this hand up and down off the chair. Use your breath. Inhales to lift. Exhale slower. It can help to sometimes bring this arm out for counterbalance. Great. Lengthen through the crown of your head, wherever you are. And we're going to take the other side. Slowly come back down. Turn so that now you're holding onto the chair with the opposite hand. Just helps you with your center of gravity. Ground down through your right leg. Pick up your left foot to the ankle, the shin. Press the foot into your leg into your foot. Opposite arm out for counterbalance if you like, or maybe it's on your hip. And then this hand that's holding onto the chair, maybe you work on lifting it up. Notice if you're really holding onto it for dear life, or if it's just an aid for you. Inhale is lengthen tall through the crown of your head. Exhale is ground down. Slowly come down, back to center. Turn to face the chair. And now we're going to come back to a seat. So pick up your chair, place it wherever you want. Maybe it's on your mat or a bit in front of it, whatever it is. Take a seat. Big breath in. Big breath out. Settle down. One nice hip stretch since we just worked the legs so much. Pick up your right leg. Hug your knee in. Make sure that you're not leaning back onto your chair, but you're nice and tall. Hug your knee in. Takes a little bit of core strength to lift up. Now keep your knee where it is and just rotate from the hip to bring your foot on top of your thigh. You might have it to the knee. You might still have to hold it. You might have it all the way up. Just wherever you can get it. You might inch this other foot a little bit more forward. Take a big breath. And exhale to fold forward. It doesn't have to be very far, very much. You can already start to feel this big stretch along the outer hip. Let the head go. Just come as low as feels comfortable for you. Take a few deep breaths. Slowing the body down. Coming back to center. Inhale, come up. Be very gentle. So pick up your foot and then guide your ankle underneath your knee. Maybe you hug it in and then lower down. Other side, left knee up, hug it in, nice and tight. Then grab onto the edge of your foot. Slowly, carefully rotate from your hip to bring the foot up. Maybe it's right on your knee. Maybe it's all the way up to the hip crease or somewhere in between. Be very gentle with this knee. Don't push it down. Just let it be. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold forward. Maybe it's just a slight little bit. Maybe you can come a little bit further. Notice each side is different. You might have felt more of a stretch on one side than the other. Just check in how this feels across your outer leg, outer hip. Head heavy. Slow, deep breaths. Inhale to slowly come up. Carefully guide your knee back in. Land it down. And pause here. Maybe you have some little movements before you settle in for a final moment of meditation. Eyes open or closed. Do a body scan from top to bottom. Everything you just worked. The shoulders and the chest, the legs, the core, center of your body. Notice how your body feels now from when you started. Everything you have just done for your mind, your body, your breath, everything they've done for you. Take it in. Let's take 2 deep cleansing breaths together. Big inhale through the nose, fill the lungs, lengthen tall. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. One more big, deep inhale, fill up completely. Exhale, let it go. Come back to normal breath. Find a moment of stillness. Thank yourself for your practice. Aim to carry this feeling, this peace with you when you leave. I thank you so much for sharing your practice today, for doing what you just did for yourself, for your body. Thank you.